Hello, this is Sky. Today I will be showing you how to make a casino, or a very basic casino at most, in skyblock.net. This tutorial really is only for skyblock.net, and most of these tutorials will only be for skyblock.net. Skyblock.net is the first ever Skyblock server, created by Noob Crew back in 2011, and yeah. If you want to join the server, IP in the description. There'll be 3 topics. There's the input, the randomizers. Here, we have a very basic casino. This is just an example on how to make one. Or, not how to make one, but this is just a very, very small example. Very, very simple. Max odds are 1 out of 1, 1 out of 9, and 1 out of 81. Here we can see the 3 droppers in the front and the lights below them. Right here, we have the input on the left, where you can make a trade shop. That's where you would make your trade shop. As you can see, when you buy 1 spin, or when the player buys 1 spin, you get a 1 input. So odds right now are just 1 out of 1 for each dropper, meaning that if you win the first one, you get the second one, win the second one, you get the third one, and all the odds are just guaranteed, so you win all. Here I have 64 stone blocks in each of the droppers. I'm going to take 32 stone out. I'm going to show you how there will only be 32 left in the droppers. As you can see, the lights are turning on. It's good. That input right there is sending stone into the chest, which works. And you can see that the chest is filling up. That was the last spin right there. And each dropper only has 32 pieces in, so it worked. That's the input right there. So a randomizer. Right here, we have a redstone torch, which activates that dropper and redstone lamp that's it's facing. As you can see that it's just, there's not even a randomizer for it. It just comes right off the original comparator. This is a randomizer right here. This is for the 1 out of 9, or what could be 1 out of 9. This is a furnace. Talk about that later. And that redstone torch is going into that furnace, no, dropper, and redstone lamp, my bad. And here we got the second randomizer. As you can see that there's only 2 redstone dust, no furnace. Could be a little bit more compact, but I was really lazy and I didn't really want to. And yeah, it sends an input right into that redstone lamp and dropper. So yeah, you can also add stuff on the sides, and you can hide all the redstone behind. Here we have the main part, the input system. As you can see, when I take 1 piece of stone out of the chest, it will drop 1 piece of stone from the dropper. Very simple. You can build this, and yeah, there's many ways to build it, but it just works. Take 1 stone out, 1 stone dispenses, and light pops up. So as you can see, this dropper right here, oops, that dropper right there flows items into that chest. So when you take an item out, it sends a piece of stone in it. The observers on the top, those are always activating the dropper that needs to be there, as the dropper won't be able to dispense anything if it's not there. This comparator right here, that comparator powers that redstone dust, which powers the piston on the bottom, which shows that piston powers both of the droppers down below, which in the observers power that top dropper always. That redstone comparator sends an output to that redstone dust. That redstone dust is really important. I'll talk about that in a second. You can see there's just 1 item in there. We'll talk about the odds also in a second. And it just sends an output that's too long. Comparator's coming out of that dropper. Comparator sends an output that's too long, 2 redstone dust long, and it sends an output to the redstone lamp and the dropper. Here we have a very, very simple randomizer. As you can see, inside we have 8 stackable items. and one non-stackable. What I mean by stackable is how it can go all the way up to 64 as a wooden axe. You just got one of them. You can't really stack that without cheating in the game or using commands. As you can see, when I just put an axe in there, which is a non-stackable, the redstone lamp lit up, and when I put a stackable item, the redstone lamp did not light up. So in that dropper, it is currently 1 out of 9. I'm gonna try to click this a little bit more. As you can see on the right, there was an axe right there. I missed the light though, because I'm an idiot and I wasn't recording in the correct spot. I'm just gonna spam the button here. And probably shouldn't have spammed it, but yep, the light's going on now. And there's a furnace and an axe in there, but it would work if you just had the axe in there. By the way, that redstone dust on there on the left, yep, this right here, it'll power that bottom. It sends power through that block into that dropper, and then this repeater right here, which needs to be set up to 2 ticks, sends power to the second dropper, which sends the item back to the original dropper, so that it's kind of like automatic, you know. And the Phaera coming out of this dropper has a pulse of 2 redstone dust, which goes into that redstone lamp. Here we have 2 of the exact same designs of a randomizer, where the button sends an input through the first block, and repeaters are the exact same. They're both 2 ticks, and they go to the second block. In both the first repeaters, there are both just good old stone blocks, and yeah, the only thing difference is how the comparator on the right has nothing going into it, and the comparator on the left has a furnace with 16 blocks going into it. And yeah, that redstone lamp goes into there. This button sends an output into the first block. As you can see, that redstone lamp is not powering on. See that it goes through there. This furnace right here has 16 stackable items in it, and this comparator that is coming out of the furnace is sending a signal into the comparator that's coming out of that dropper. Might sound a little confusing, but it's really not. Just look at it. Take a look at this one more time. You can see the randomizer on the left does not have any furnaces. The randomizer on the right does have a furnace, which has 16 stackable items. 16 stone blocks will do the trick. Put them in the top slot. As you can see, comparator coming out of that furnace, going into that dropper, into that comparator that's coming out of the dropper, and the reason for you possibly wanting a furnace is to slow down the output. So yeah, it's really useful to make casinos compact. Furnace is there to make the comparator that's coming out of the dropper to not send that much of a stronger output until it's a full output, which is a non-stackable instead of a stackable. Right here, I have an example of a trade shop on skyblock.net. You would make a trade shop, and you can kind of see that dropper in the back, but it would be facing towards the chest. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can place a block right above it, and yeah. Here we have a very simple output with 3 droppers, 3 redstone lamps, and 3 note blocks. As you can see, when output came in from the randomizer, the note blocks and the droppers and the redstone lights are here. So yeah, you just hook that up from the redstone and from the first design, and yeah. Thank you for watching this video. Hope it helps you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the description, or send a Discord message to me. And yeah, hope you like Skyblock, because I very much do. And if you ever have any problems, feel free to contact me. Leave a like, maybe subscribe, and yeah, thanks.